This little walk around the Athena, I'm just going to go through some of the options that are available, or standard features on it. The first thing you'll notice, the Athena comes with non-marking tracks. We don't option it with black tracks at all. Obviously with black tracks, they're going to leave a mark on the ground. Grey non-marking tracks are standard on all machines, so you don't leave a mark. It's very important, particularly if you're using them inside. No marks. You'll notice that the bi-levelling system has hydraulic check valves on it. That's just in case if there was ever a possibility that you had a hydraulic leak, the hydraulic pressure is held within the check valve and there's going to be no dramas with it. As you'll notice, you've got some specially rated tie-down points. You've got one on each side and you've got two at the front. As you walk into the rear of the machine, you've got your major isolating key, which is right here, so that's your major power on off. This is your emergency descent function. So if someone got stuck up in the air, just by pulling that, the whole machine's going to come down. This is your 240 volt power option, as you can see there, that just tucks in there. So this machine can be driven on 240 volt. If you plug it into the wall, it will operate just like a toaster. So everything you see working on diesel power will also work on 240 volt power. If you do have it on 240 volt power, you also have power to platform. So you can run a power tool very and simply easily from the power outlet. One of the really nice features that this machine does have, it also has a power inverter on it. So if you are using it outdoors, you have an inverter which is powered by the engine, which allows you to get 240 volts to the machine, even though it's not plugged in. The remote control on this machine is probably where all the action is, and I'm just going to run through it with you for two reasons. Number one, it's a very, very simple machine and it's a very, very simple controller. So this function here we have on the left hand side, this is your engine select. At the moment it's in diesel mode. If I wanted to run it on electric power, I just flick it up to electric power. If I want to run the inverter, which is the power option I was just referring to up here, all I need to do is flick that down, the Hatz diesel engine will rev up and you'll have power provided to the outlet. This is your engine on-off switch. Nothing too complicated there. You've got a diesel hair mode, obviously fast, slow. This is a rather nice configurator here. So this is a three-way toggle switch. In the middle, which is where I usually use it, that will give you full control of the machine. If you want to go fast to transport in a single direction, if I turn it to the top mode, that will give you maximum speed, but it won't give you any turning ability. If I turn it down onto the bottom function, that will give you medium speed, but it won't give you a skid turning ability. It will turn in a gradual turning circle. This is your raise function, which is also your auto level function. Now, versus a lot of other machines, our Zeus's included, they'll have a separate auto leveling function for the outriggers. With this machine, everything is built into the one, so there can be no mistakes, particularly with hire companies who hire these machines out. They need machines to be foolproof. That's what this is, even though fools can be pretty ingenious. So all you need to do to make this thing self-level is push the raise function. As soon as the machine is level, the machine will then raise itself up in the air. You'll notice we've got an icon which looks a little bit like a track on either side. So if you want to manually raise or lower the track, or raise the chassis of the machine, you can do that quite simply on both sides by raising and lowering each leg. The final one is manually tilting the machine backwards and forwards, which can also be done with this switch right here. I've already mentioned that this one has a new extendable basket on it. The extendable basket, it's nice and simple to engage. You've just got a foot switch like so, and then it's a matter of pushing it out. Now, as you can see from an internal view, that is a nice big working platform. And as I've already mentioned, this machine is dual rated, two-person, indoor, outdoor, 250 kilos. If you were to use a slab scissor outdoors, and who would really, when you've got an Athena available, that's going to usually be a single person rated, and you're not going to be able to operate it on any type of slope at all. You have to risk packing the machine, which is obviously against occupational health and safety guidelines. The Athena does all that safely and efficiently without any risk to the operator. So we have a button on the side of the machine, which is our service button. I'm just going to click it over. So I can raise and lower the machine from here, basically for a service perspective. So the machine has just started beeping. I'm just going to turn it off. The machine is now beeping at us because from the ground it doesn't have any auto leveling ability. So the machine will get to a certain height, it's worked out that it's not level, and it's automatically cut itself off. It's the advanced safety features that are kicking in here. So that's a nice thing to know. The side controls are primarily for servicing anyway. Now, before I get to the emergency descent function, you'll notice internally within the machine, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of room to work in. So our specialist ATHENA technicians can have problems should there be one diagnosed and solved momentarily. And there's a nice amount of workspace in there to be able to work in. So if you're purchasing a machine and you have your own service technicians, they're not going to get they're not going to be pissed at you because there's no room to work. I mentioned before the emergency lowering device, which is this the lever right here. So if I pull on this, if you had someone trapped up in the basket, you can now see how that that basket is now coming all the way down. So just finally, some dimensions on this machine. So this machine is 1.5 meters wide in the wide position. It's 2 meters long. With the cage folded down, it's 1.6 meters high. So you can easily get it through a double gate or door. The machine weighs only 1,970 kilos, and that's a huge advantage for any tradesman out there, because at just under 2 ton, 2.5 ton on a trailer, you can tow it behind most work utilities available at the moment. Mitsubishi Tritons, BT50s, most vehicle brands have got a 3.5 ton towing capacity. No longer do you have to worry about tilt tray fees. There's a lot of tradesmen who have an electric scissor lift. An electric scissor lift is no use to you outdoors. So a lot of tradesmen are looking to trade up to an ATHENA. All of a sudden you've got a slab scissor and a rough terrain unit all in one that you can tow yourself. Reduce your hire fees, increase your profitability. That's what the ATHENA is all about, and you're doing it in a very safe working environment. And I think you should buy one. Give us a call.